The 2026 Winter Classic jerseys have officially been revealed. Now, I do want to apologize if I look terrible or I sound terrible. Well, more than usual. It's because I feel really sick right now. I'm quite under the weather, which is why I haven't uploaded this for the past 2 days. I thought I would be a little bit better by now, but I'm still trying to work through it. But I have a little bit of energy, so I'm going to try and push through and make this video while I actually have the energy. But yeah, new jerseys for both the Panthers and the Rangers. So before we do go ahead and take a look at those, if you guys are new to the channel and you like hockey jersey content, please make sure to subscribe. I would really appreciate it. I want to go ahead and take a look at the Panthers jersey first because that one is the more interesting out of the bunch. I still have stuff to say about the Rangers jersey, but yeah, the Panthers jersey definitely more interesting. I will say I am surprised with this Panthers jersey here. When we were first talking about the rumors a couple of days ago, I really was not looking forward to this thing. And even though I don't love it, like I'm not a massive fan of it, I definitely like it a lot more than at least I was thinking I would. For myself, I was hoping a little bit more for a Miami Vice style of jersey, especially because that is what we got with the Winter Classic patch itself. That is in the Miami Vice style. So I was hoping that the jersey would replicate that and we would have, a pretty cohesive jersey and patch. We didn't get that, but I still think that this one ends up coming out not too bad. It still has its issues, and I would probably say the biggest issue, at least in my mind, is the fact that it doesn't really feel like a Winter Classic jersey. I feel like with most Winter Classic jerseys, they usually throw back to like the 1920s to 1940s, like somewhere in that time range. For the most part, even if they weren't a team back then, they usually try and either replicate a team that was back in the day or, a style that they would have worn back in the day. Where this one here, it does feel a lot just like the 90s. Like it feels very similar to their 90s jerseys. Even though there is aspects of older jerseys in this jersey, to me, it still just doesn't really feel too much like a Winter Classic. And I think that's maybe part of the reason why I've seen so many people complaining about these Winter Classic and Stadium Series matchups. I understand the NHL wanting to have both of the Florida teams host the Stadium Series and the Winter Classic, but yeah, with the Winter Classic specifically, I don't know if it works super well for either Florida team, at least hosting it. And also, like, the matchups feel a little lacking because it is just both Florida teams going up against an original six team. And they're not, like, super hard rivalries. I would say the Tampa and Boston one is a little bit more of a rivalry for sure. Like, that one I do get. With the Florida and Rangers one, like, I think they faced in the conference final a couple of years ago, if I'm not wrong on that. But yeah, like it still doesn't really feel like a super strong rivalry. Now, I wouldn't say I have a huge issue with the matchups. I understand why people aren't a massive fan of them. I think it's okay. But personally, I would say that the jersey itself does kind of falter a little bit because it doesn't feel like a Winter Classic jersey. And even taking a look at the full uniform, it's supposed to have those brown gloves and pants for like the leather pants and gloves, but yeah, I don't know if it really matches this jersey all too well. Like it doesn't feel old enough in my opinion, but yeah, anyways, taking a look at the crest is something else. So this is their little explanation for it. It's the Leaping Cat, so their original logo reimagined. It's a vintage take on the original Leaping Panther with felt and chain stitching. So the way that the logo is actually made, like the actual detail of it, looks really nice. I will say that. I love felt logos and I love chain stitching. So combining those two, it always or almost always looks great in my opinion. And it does look very good. Now, does the logo look good? I don't know, it's goofy. It's a goofy logo. It's definitely one where when I first saw it, I was not a huge fan of it, but I've come around to it a little bit. I think it's kind of one of those so dumb that it's almost good, in a way. But yeah, like I don't think it's like an actually good looking logo, but it's kind of goofy. It's a goofy one, and that's maybe why I don't mind it as much. And also like I said, the detail of it, the felt and the chain stitching helps that out a lot as well. Then we can take a look at the shoulder patch here. So the shoulder patch is quite nice. I do like it a lot. This is more in the style of like the Miami Clippers that we talked about a couple of days ago. So it's their Prowling Panther logo that they have on their shoulder patch, or their secondary logo because it's not on the shoulder. But they have that just in like a vintage sun. Yeah, the patch looks great, and the fact that it is chain stitched as well, really, really nice. So the actual detail on the shoulder patch and the look of the shoulder patch, I absolutely love. I think that's fantastic. They also have the 4 stripes on the side of the jersey there that they say is associated with traditional hockey jerseys, or hockey sweaters is what they say. Yeah, once again, kind of sort of looking like the Clippers, but, not really quite. The Clippers did have a lot more stripes than just the 4. That I don't mind. That I think is okay. And then we have the back of the jersey here. So it has decorative stitching in the back. Numbers form chevrons inspired by Florida's military heritage. So nice detail there. The numbers are felt as well. So yeah, felt numbers with any sort of extra detail is always a positive in my book. I think that always looks really, really nice. Our next picture is the back hem tag there. So they do have a little detail on it, and it's Victor E. So Victor E. Rat, which of course is the tradition of throwing rats on the ice at the end of the game. And Victor E. Rat is their mascot as well. But yeah, it's supposed to be inspired by them throwing the rats when they win a game at home. So yeah, that's very cool. I think that is a great detail. Just taking a look at some other pictures that I have. This one I wanted to look at because of the pant logo. I've not seen that one before. That one looks new, and I'm not sure what it's referencing. There's no really close-up image of it, which is a little unfortunate, but I do like that. I think that is a really cool logo. That looks nice. Here is just a full image of the back of the jersey and uniform. So yeah, those numbers I do think look quite good. And I should add on to that I like the socks as well. The socks do look nice. Next, we have a picture of the assistant captain's patch. So that is in like a little badge, and I think that is pretty cool. And we also have like the Winter Classic patch that we can see on the shoulders. So yeah, like my complaint is that the Winter Classic patch doesn't really fit this jersey, and it doesn't really fit the Rangers jersey either. So it stands out, and I don't think in a very good way. Most of the time, I think the Winter Classic patches fit well with the jerseys for the most part, at least the home team's jersey. And this one here, I wouldn't say it does. So that's why I was kind of hoping for a Miami Vice themed jerseys, so it would go well with the Winter Classic patch. But yeah, it's a nice patch. I like the patch itself, but it does stand out, and not in a great way, in my opinion. And while we're on the Winter Classic patch, I do want to mention something that's kind of unfortunate, but also sort of a good thing as well, is the patches on the Indo, or I guess I should say the premium jerseys. There's a patch on there, which is good, because actually for the most part, those Winter Classic patches have not been on those jerseys. They haven't for a long time, actually. You've almost always had to buy them separately, and it's been quite annoying. This time around, they are on there, but they're not quite at the same quality as they are on the Authentic Pros. So they are on the Authentic Pros, and they are the better quality on the Authentic Pros. And then obviously, those are the same as the game-worn jerseys. But yeah, so like it's nice that they're on there, but it sucks that they're not a high-quality patch. They're kind of a little bit of a lesser quality patch, so that is very unfortunate. For myself personally, though, I would rather them do it like this, like at least have the patch on there, because I'm going to be honest, like for myself, when I do buy the Winter Classic jerseys, I have a little bit of a hard time finding the patch, at least in Canada. It can be a little bit difficult. I usually have to buy off the NHL store in the US, on the US side, because they don't sell them on the Canadian side. And then there's the extra shipping and everything like that. So it can be pretty expensive to get one of those patches. And even if I do ship it to, someone in the States, and then they ship it to me, it's still somewhat expensive. So even though this might not be the highest quality, at least I don't have to do that. And to be honest, just because I'm lazy, most of the time I don't even get those patches sewn on. I just usually have them sitting around just because I'm so lazy to actually get them put on. But yeah, this way, it's nice that they're already on there, even if it's not the highest quality. But now let's move on to the New York Rangers. So this is the Rangers Winter Classic jersey, and I've seen a lot of people say that it's too bland, it's too basic, it's too similar to their Centennial jersey. And for me, I say, I don't see a big deal in that. I actually like that it's similar to their Centennial jersey, and it's not even like that similar. Like it is. It has aspects that are the same, like the faux sweater type collar, but that's how a lot of the collars are on the Winter Classic jerseys, even the Florida one that we just looked at. The striping is close, but it is a little bit different, and then obviously it has New York on the front instead of Rangers. So yeah, like it's similar, but it's not that similar in my opinion. It's different enough where I like it, and honestly, like, it looks good pairing up with that Centennial jersey. Like, I have a picture here of someone who has both. That looks really nice, honestly. Like, as someone who does not really usually like Rangers jerseys, that's a nice pair. And I definitely would not mind if they decided to do this for their home and away jerseys, which I know that they're not going to. The Rangers don't change anything ever. But yeah, if they wanted to do this, I'd totally be down for that. Like, it looks really nice for a home and away. But yeah, going back to the solo picture of the Winter Classic jersey, I also really like the setup. Like, the gear looks really nice. I love those pants. Those pants look so cool. And the gloves as well. Very, very nice. Has the different colored fingers. I think that looks great. And of course, if you guys know me, you know I love my cream color jerseys. So almost any jersey that has cream as the main color, I am going to like for the most part. The only kind of downside I would say with this one, for me, is the New York on the front. I would prefer a logo. I always prefer logos. If they wanted to use the logo that's on the pants right there as the main logo, totally would have been down for that. I also talked about before how I wouldn't mind seeing like an old school Lady Liberty logo, like not the ones from the 90s, but like a new version of one that just looks really old school, that looks like it was made in the 40s or something like that. But that's not what I was expecting, so I wasn't holding out too much hope in that aspect. Our next picture here is of the shoulder patch. So they're bringing back that apple that is on the Centennial jersey. It's only on the little hem tag that's at the bottom, but they're now using that as like an actual shoulder patch logo, and it looks really nice. I actually do like that logo quite a bit. I'm surprised how much I like it. But yeah, it looks great as a shoulder patch. I saw someone edit the jersey and put this logo on the front. I think that's a little bit too much. I think that's going a little bit too far, but as a shoulder patch logo, I'm totally down with it. Here we can see part of the back of the jersey. So yeah, we can see the felt customization, which looks good. It is just the one layered number, but that's fine for me. I don't think this needed multiple layers. I think the one layer is good. Our next picture is just a little bit of the front of the jersey. So once again, you can see the New York. That is in felt. And then this one does have a little message in the back where it says South Florida with that sun. And then obviously the date of the Winter Classic, which is January 1st, 2026. I like that. I think that actually looks really nice. I don't know if that's on the Florida one. Let me double check. Okay, I didn't see any specific shots of inside the back of the hemline there, so I'm not too sure. I would kind of hope that it's on there as well, but yeah, I don't really know. Our next photo is of Panarin, so you can see a little bit of that Winter Classic patch, and it looks, I would say, better on this jersey than it does on the Florida one. But yeah, I don't know. I still don't love it a whole lot, to be honest, which is unfortunate because I did really like it just as a patch itself. Like, as a patch itself, I think it's great. But on the jerseys, I'm not in love with it. I don't think it looks phenomenal. Here's Miller just with the back of the jersey in full. So yeah, that looks good. And yeah, that is all the pictures that I have for the Rangers. The Rangers didn't release as many photos as the Panthers did, which is a little bit unfortunate, but I do find that to be fairly usual for original six teams. I feel like original six teams, they really downplay a lot of their jersey releases, and they, you know, usually just do it very sparingly, where I find like the newer teams really go in depth. But yeah, anyways, so with those two jerseys there, which one is my favorite out of the two? I definitely would give it to the Rangers one. I think the Rangers one, yeah, it might be a little bit bland and a little bit safe, but I still think it looks really nice. I think it works for a Winter Classic jersey, and I think it works well with their Centennial jersey. So I'd give the Rangers one like an 8 out of 10. And that's might even be on the safe side, to be honest. With the Panthers jersey, yeah, I don't love it as much. I think I would like it a little bit more if it wasn't a Winter Classic jersey. Like, if it was just a heritage jersey, a retro jersey for like a third jersey or something like that. I think I would like it a lot more than I do right now. There's still aspects of it that I like. Like, I don't hate the thing. It just doesn't feel super Winter Classic to myself. So I'm probably going to put it at like a 5.5 out of 10 is maybe where I'll have it. Because yeah, like I don't hate the jersey. It just doesn't feel like a Winter Classic jersey. But those, of course, are just my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I'm a bit surprised I got through this one, to be completely honest, because I've been like half asleep for the last 3 days. So yeah, that is it for me. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, follow me on all my social medias. See you guys next time. Bye.